Hey, hello there, fellow Terraria enjoyers. I hope your week went by quickly and smoothly without any cataclysmic disasters happening. Last week we were playing, or I suppose suffering through Infernum Mage, and I told you that next time I will have something special for you. Well, boys and girls, today we will be taking a little trip down memory lane. At least for some people, as we will be playing Infernum again, but also adding the Thorium mod. The last time I played this mod was probably around 8 years ago and I loved it. But not too long ago I saw that there is actually an extension to it that adds Calamity items, armors and accessories. Now, we won't be playing the Thorium class, which is Thorium's version of Rogue, but we will 100% be playing Healer and Bard. The Healer class is probably a little worse, or at least a little weird, as it is a healer after all, and unfortunately I am friendless, which means that half, if not more, of all items will be about as half of useful as they're usually, which is why I would like to start with it. As we all know at this point, I'm a masochist. Well, I don't think I'm the only one who thinks this way, but usually I prefer to do the harder things first, and then end off with the easier things. As per usual guys, all of the mods will be in the description, so if you would want to try any of them, feel free to do so. I would actually even encourage you to try them, as I'm sure that you would have fun, even if things might be a little hard. I've also done a playthrough of every single other Calamity class already, and I've put every single playlist in the description, so if you liked this episode and want more content, go ahead and binge them all, you will love them as well, trust. Now, I wanted to address the Calamity situation a little bit as well, because it is definitely bad and some of you might not know about it, you might have just heard some rumors or something. So, long story short, the main owners of the mod, who I think also have been developers, did very bad things. I know that at this point it has literally become a meme all over the world, and every second goddamn person is somehow involved in something like this, but they were grooming minors. I hope the YouTube algorithm doesn't send me to the shadow realm just for saying these words, but yeah, it was bad. Many of the Calamity developers over the years were also having problems with them. You had a lot of them who left because of other reasons, but now these things started showing up even more. Many of them wanted to straight up pull some of their work from the mod itself, just so that they're not associated with the minor situation in any way, and I completely understand them. But apparently, after some talk between the dev team, they came to a middle ground, which unfortunately meant freezing the development of the mod, at least for the time being. Now, I'm not a believer, but I want to say I believe that eventually someone will pick it up again and hopefully continue. As a matter of fact, if I had the money, I would have 100% wanted to try and continue this amazing godsend of a mod. Not just because I'm currently basing my channel on it, but because it has given me many, and I mean many hours of pure joy and happiness. Calamity is and will remain my most favorite mod of all time, and I want to thank each and every developer, music artist, graphic artist, basically everyone who worked on it. You guys did wonders, not only for my childhood, but for the childhoods of many other people as well. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank you for the decade of awesomeness. You people are absolutely phenomenal. Another thing, please, all of you watching, do not harass or bombard the devs who want to pull their own work from the mod. They do not deserve any hate whatsoever. If anything, feel free to go thank them for everything they have done. Let us all hope and believe that one day the Avengers will assemble again and Calamity will continue development. With all of that sad shit out of the way, let's get rolling into the holy gameplay. This time around, we will be making our sick gamer crib inside the trees close to our spawn. I've always loved the massive trees in Terraria, especially whenever there are two or more very close to each other. They look so nice for a couple of NPC houses. And now we get to our first weapon, the wooden baton. So the healer class in Thorium does what the name implies, but it also has some weapons that deal damage. There are a couple of armors that are much more aggressive, giving a good bit of damage, and speaking of that, one thing you will notice with those armors, they have decreased non-radiant damage and give you more radiant damage. But because of the fact that this class is mostly based on healing, half of the weapons it has will sadly be completely useless to us. It's very unfortunate that they don't even heal us, but that would probably be busted if that was the case. After that we start exploring to the sides, and here we have one of the mini biomes that Thorium adds, the natural graveyard. There is a boss that we will be fighting here later on, and this is one of the NPCs that it adds, the cobbler. He sells shoes that are actually pretty useful, and another thing, he can shine your shoes, which increases your movement speed, run acceleration and jump height by quite a bit actually. It's definitely quite noticeable. We continue on with the underground exploration, where we find a magic mirror, many ores we can use for a better pickaxe, and of course our lead armor, which again, for those that might not know, in Calamity gives knockback immunity, which is very damn useful. But with the better pickaxe we can now get the ores that Thorium adds, those being live quartz, smooth coal, which you can turn into diamonds with a hellforge, and thorium ore. I know, right? Very original. Now, the thorium ore can be turned into thorium bars, which are very useful for bards, as you can make inspiration fragments. If you have never played this mod before, the bard class is almost like mage, as it uses what is called inspiration to fire its weapons. That is basically mana. Some of you, if not most of you, have either played Dungeons & Dragons or maybe played Final Fantasy, so you might know what a bard class does. But for those that haven't, bards are buffers. They deal damage, but they mostly buff your teammates, giving them extra damage, attack speed, movement speed, armor, or damage reduction. Almost everything. Don't worry, we will also be playing the bard, as I really like it, but after a while we found a little cavern with some diamonds, and that means that we can now set up our magic storage. So once we're done with the Gunner cave, we can rope up to the big planetoid, where we will get the charging station as well as the power cell factory, as we will be using it to charge the green seeking mechanisms, find the jungle lab and get our early hellstone pickaxe. By the way, for those that don't know, if you're making a elevator and you have a spider biome going right through it, just break the walls. I don't know why or how, but I didn't know that for way too long. But with the walls gone, the spiders won't be spawning anymore. After that we go to the Hell Lab, where we get the 5 Hellstone bars, go further left to the Profane Garden for the Wayfinder, which allows us to mark the ground, making a portal we can travel to at any point, and then go back home to make the Blender. Annoyingly, it wrote annoying as its modifier, but one of the reasons I like Thorium as a mod is all of the sights. Believe it or not, my two favorite weapon types are sights and of course katanas. I even have one and named it Kurama, which is not weird at all, shut the fuck up. We head to the right where our shimmer rig is, but we first stop by the Crimson for our Crimson effigy and to break one orb so that we can hunt for the Goblin invasion. And then go to the left side of Hell where our Brimstone Crags are, not only for the pylon but also for the 2 chests near the bridges that contain Hellstone bars. And once we are back home, we grab our green sinking mechanisms and the power cells we have gathered so far, charge the dish and then head to the jungle, where after 10ish minutes we find it, get our red seeking mechanisms, which give us the last remaining Hellstone bars we need once shimmered. We defeated the snooze fest that is the Goblin invasion before that, so now we can talk to our battle expert and buy the shimmer mirror from his cursed shop. He comes from the Prisma's Juicebox mod, which is a very great quality of life mod, but don't forget that you need to enable the curse/blessing shop in the mod configuration menu. But now we can get to the shimmer, where we will search for the Goblin, as it is the easiest place to do that. After getting our molten pickaxe and having a quick hellstone mining session, we make the molten treasure and then skip time till we get a blood moon, as the enemies can drop an item called unholy shards, which the healer class can use for many things. But with those shards we will make our semi-ranged weapon, the Omen, as well as the ebon armor. And after getting a bucket of water, which for those that didn't know, you can use as a water source in the magic storage, we can turn our unholy shards into holy shards, and with a bucket of honey, we can make the crystal honey, which gives us 20 max life, 10% increased radiant damage, and 5% increased radiant crit chance. This accessory is fucking busted. You can't have an accessory that gives all of that before any boss, like goddamn. We then go to space to farm for some feathers as we want to make our fledgling wings, but after a couple of minutes realize that for some reason they don't appear in the recipe browser. And after a little bit of wiki searches, I found out that update 2.2.2 made them uncraftable, but made them primary loot in the Sky Island chests instead of secondary, which basically means that they should 100% be in at least one chest, and after finding the second island, they were. But now it is goddamn time to finally get into some boss fighting, because we have quite a lot. So after going to the Crimson and making a little arena, we find assist and spawn the perforators. Maybe I'm just insanely bad at the game, maybe my aim sucks ass, or maybe my weapons are just not the right ones for them, but the perfs always take me like a goddamn eternity to kill. Even though this time around it only took me 3 minutes and 16 seconds, which might be my fastest ever perfs kill, I'm not sure, but it's still somewhat of a long time. But with them defeated, we're of course able to mine aerolite ore and make our aerospec armor, which has helmets for both healer and bard because of our mod. And after making it, we go close to our spawn, where we place a platform and summon the eye. Which dies in the nice and quick 37 seconds, but right after that we immediately summon King Slime. who also dies in the very quick 34 seconds. After going through the desert for materials, we make the desert medallion and the grand flare gun with a storm flare, as it summons a Thorium boss. With that, it is time to go to the desert again and summon the Grand Thunderbird. Who dies in 19 seconds, but that is because this boss is meant to be fought very damn early. He's literally the first boss, but he does have a cool drop, that being the Zephyr's Grip, which is a hook that can hook the air, as when you do, a small bird comes to pick you up, and it's very unique and interesting. But now let's also call upon the Desert Scourge, who dies in 11 seconds. Yeah, some bosses get absolutely shredded by the sides, and now it is time to go to the Shroom biome, clear some space there and summon Mr. Krabs. Another quick fight later, we get our rage upgrade and then head to the underground Crimson, where we definitely didn't die to Brian because I was a fucking idiot who can't dodge to save my life, and then have to extend the arena quite a lot so that I can have more space. So yeah, I didn't do that, so now let's fight Brian. Exactly 1 minute later, we definitely first tried him and then go to the beach where we place a platform and use the jellyfish resonator that we made earlier to summon the next Thorium boss, that being Queen Jellyfish. Not gonna lie, I think you can definitely see the differences between Calamity bosses and Thorium bosses. I mean, I don't really even need to explain what they do, cause they just kinda die very quickly. They do look cool though, so I'll give them that. But after going to the jungle and clearing a good bit of space, it is time to fight the Queen Bee. Even though the fight only lasted for a minute and 16 seconds, it is a little challenging because of the low range of my weapon. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this, but this weapon costs 2 life per use. It's not too much because I have quite a lot of health regen, but still, it can be dangerous. But with that, it is unfortunately time to end this episode. Initially, I thought of uploading the whole of pre-hard mode, but this thing turned out to be much longer than expected. I did record it, but because of difficulties in real life, I couldn't work too much on everything past the recording, as it is definitely the harder part of making the video. So thank you everyone so much for watching. I hope you are enjoying the Thorium/Infernum combination, even though there hasn't been anything flashy. Make sure to bless the like and subscribe button with some holy water so you don't miss out on the next video. In the description you will also find links to all of my social medias I have, in which I always post whenever a new video is out, so go ahead and give them a follow as well. Thank you all so much for the support so far, and again, thank you for watching this episode, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Biblically Enlightened Father Vi out.